And now you can see the Backseat Mogul Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and happy hour. Fridays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
So this is the Backseat Mogul Show, live here on Rough Edge FM. And as always, we have technical problems beginning the show. Starting to get a little old. So this is an audio-only show, folks. So you just got to listen a little harder. But the good news, you can take it to the gym and listen to the gym and things like that. So anyway, I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul, and this is the show where we talk about show business. Johnny D is sitting over there.
Good morning, Scotty B.
And we have our new team member, Jeff Genet. Is it Genet, like French, or how would you? Genet, right? He's our new team member here, joining us for the first time. Of course, the first time that the cameras can't be used. That's how things work out.
Well, technically, it's the third time.
It's like
but
the 90th time.
But now he is a bona fide family member.
Talking about, the video. Jeff's going to be joining us as often as he can in coming weeks. And so we'll be talking that. So it's good to have you aboard, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to the fold.
Thank you.
Are we up to 5 minutes finished on first run yet?
We're actually up to 10 minutes.
Dang! Wow.
I've been working hard this week.
I guess so. Yeah, that's good news. First one is the feature that Jeff is working on, and you can donate if you'd like. GoFundMe.com. Is it?
Yes.
I wanted to make sure it's the right one because I don't have my image up. GoFundMe.com, search for First Run or Jeff Genet, Genet. What's the full title? Help us make our
comedy adventure film first run, something like that. Yeah.
Use those keywords and you'll find it.
Yeah, first run. It's bound to be on like page 15 by now if you want to look.
But look it up if you care to donate and help out this film, because you'll get to see Johnny and I in it, which is reason enough for maybe people not to invest. But
I don't know why I did that because there's no.
Because we're used to the camera up, but we don't have our cameras today. So thought we'd start with some news today, and this is good news. I didn't wear this T-shirt intentionally, but I did not know this was going to happen. Godzilla X Kong. It's actually just Godzilla Kong. You don't say the X part.
Oh, you don't?
No, I learned that from my buddy who does the anime show. He says a lot of animes have that X in there, and it's just a divider. So it's Godzilla Kong, not Godzilla X Kong, according to him. Anyway, the Godzilla Kong sequel is called Supernova. So I don't know if there's going to be a big fiery star, or if there's going to be a new giant monster. Are you a Godzilla fan?
Oh yeah, I've seen.
I thought so.
I've seen pretty much all of them except for those like middle eras in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
it sounds like a wrestler, Supernova.
Yeah, I did. Of course,
now entering the ring.
So I'm wondering if because I saw that this morning, and I'm wondering if they're going to do Space Godzilla or Gigan, or if they're just going to make something new like they've done in the last one. I
hope that they use one of the old ones, just because I'm a geek for the old Godzilla movies, but they could use anything. I think that, and I can't say his name, but the director of Godzilla minus one, right? Godzilla minus one. He is going to include one of the old villains in his new movie or the sequel, which he's already working on right now.
Yeah, I think he said in an interview that he wanted to do Hedorah.
Oh, the smog monster?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So I think he hasn't officially said that's the one that I'm doing, but I think he's had so much interest, and there's been hints at that's what everybody thinks is going to be in the next one.
I have many favorite Godzilla movies, but there's no denying that's the best, or at least the second best Godzilla movie, because you really can't discount the first one, especially considering its era and everything else. But that one is just so freaking good. And we saw that at IMAX. Did you see it at IMAX by any chance?
I did not. I saw it in a regular screen, but it still blew me away.
Yeah, we were Josh and I were at the IMAX out in Valencia, and the movie ended, and they were playing that original Godzilla theme, and then the very end of the movie, you hear like Godzilla's stomps coming closer and closer to the building, and people were leaving, and Josh is he's telling them audibly, why are you leaving? Godzilla's coming. You're you know. Because that was such a great thing to have at the end of the movie, the building, you know, the IMAX sound shaking the building, and it was just awesome. So cool. And I love that old music anyway.
And then there's the one that nobody really liked, although it did have some comedic scenes in it.
No, it didn't. It's just a piece of steaming gecko crap.
No, that part with
it's not that funny, John.
I thought it was.
I know, we hear it every time we mention that movie. He's talking about Godzilla 2000, of course.
Oh, I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Well, that scene where he's Frank. Well, oh no, not Frank. What's his name?
Hey, you
Frank
brought it up.
Azaria.
Yeah, Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria. Well, that was close. He's running down the street, and he's just about to get stomped by this so-called
gecko.
This giant gecko, and it was funny.
It wasn't.
Well, I thought it was. I mean, it was Hank Azaria. Of course, it was funny.
Yeah, Godzilla steps on him, but he gets stuck between the toes, or lucky he doesn't. Yeah, you didn't like that one, right? Please say no.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid and it came out, but no, I didn't really care for it. I think that was the first Godzilla movie I saw. I
really
didn't see a whole lot of Godzilla movies until the Legendary series started.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I started going out and watching all the other ones. But they're kind of hard to find, so like I've just been having to find little DVDs here and there.
That's the best way to go. Do you have Godzilla versus Kong? The original? Not the Legendary version.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I have it on I got that Criterion set.
Oh, okay.
With all the old ones.
That was so nice. We talked about that because the disc slipped through.
Yeah. So I've seen both versions of the old one.
Okay.
The American and the Japanese version where the different ones win. But I mean,
wait a minute, is that true? I always heard that was just a rumor that there weren't two different endings.
I thought there was.
I don't know.
I've seen them.
Well, if you've seen them, then it must be.
I think so.
Okay, that's good to know.
I have both of them on there because I want to say I've seen them both.
I'm going to dig it out then. I'll dig those out and look at that. That's cool.
But yeah, I do remember actually a theater story. I remember when I first started working at the theater with your son Josh.
Yep.
I remember one time I was there by myself in the concession stand, and he comes out of the office and he says, "Jeff, I need to talk to you for a minute." I'm like, "Did I do something?" He's just like, "Just come here," and takes me into the office. All the lights are off for some reason, and I'm like, "Are you okay? Is something? Did I do something?" He's just sitting there. He looks mad, and then he's like, "Will you please watch the new Godzilla trailer with me?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I thought I was going to get in trouble." He's like, No, you're good. And then we sat and we watched the first trailer for the Legendary Godzilla film. That was kind of like my first
your introduction to Godzilla.
Yeah.
So Josh is kind of responsible for.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Guess who is responsible for Josh liking Godzilla? That would be me.
I thought you were going to say, "Guess who's responsible for?"
That too. Yeah, as far as I know. But anyway, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I'm really enjoying the Legendary series because they're just fun. You know, and they finally figured out the secret to a successful Godzilla movie is not less Godzilla, it's more Godzilla.
Yeah.
You know, that the last couple of movies have had so much monster action where they were getting artsy, like the first time out when I can't remember the director's name. Was it Gareth who did it?
Yeah.
But kept hiding him. He's like, "Oh, here's the no, you don't get a look at him yet. Oh, here's Godzilla. No, not yet." It's like, that's annoying as hell. You know, I want to see, like my favorite scene in the last Godzilla movie where they're in the anti-grav chamber and they're just floating around fighting. It's like, here's my money. Take it. I'm ready to go. Anyway, Supernova was due out on 2027. So we got a ways to wait on that. Over 2 years, as a matter of fact. And the story is several new human characters alongside the beloved beasts Titans, Godzilla, and Kong as they face off against a cataclysmic world-ending threat. Could be, maybe they're going to do the smog monster. Don't know. But here's the stars: Dan Stevens, Caitlin Dever, Jack O'Connell, Alicia Debnam Carey, Sam Neill, Matthew Modine, wow, and Delroy Lindo.
Oh, the last three definitely heard of.
Sam Neill should get away from the big dinosaurs. Apparently the man's got a problem with big dinosaurs. So, but anyway.
Well, not just dinosaurs, but things that are really big.
Like what else?
Well,
you just had to say that, didn't you?
King Kong.
Oh,
Godzilla.
Okay, I'll give you that. King Kong, that's true.
Now, would Godzilla be considered a dinosaur or just a?
He is a
really
Godzillasaurus, so I would say yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's literally his Latin name. He's Godzillasaurus.
Okie doke.
I mean, probably not in the science books, but in the film series.
I brought breakfast.
I saw that. Pop-Tarts, anybody?
Oh, I had breakfast before I showed up.
Yeah, we're always going to have Pop-Tarts here because mainly we both like Pop-Tarts, and secondly, my wife can't see me from here, so
and these
I can eat the Pop-Tarts.
These are chocolate fudge.
Oh,
the most nutritious type of Pop-Tarts you can get. Anyway, that's the news about Godzilla Kong 2, or what? I don't even know what the number of it is. I guess it's a third legendary movie, fourth legendary movie.
There was Godzilla 2014, King of the Monsters. Oh, well, there was the Skull Island with.
Yeah, you got to count that. That was a decent movie.
And then the one with Mechagodzilla Versus, which I didn't really like that one. And then XCon from last 2 years ago. So 5, 6. So this is 6,
more than I thought. And they said that that the last one was the highest grossing installment, and the highest grossing Godzilla film of all time. Impressive.
Which was the Godzilla film that pretty much destroyed San Francisco area?
Well, that was the
I can't remember which one it was.
That was King of the Monsters, wasn't it? Or was it the first one?
I think it was the first one. I think the first one was in San Francisco.
Yeah,
because I know that the second one was Boston.
But they tore their way through those. It wasn't Godzilla. It was those other monsters, the other kaiju, that tore their way through Las Vegas, and then I thought they ended up in San Francisco, but maybe not.
I don't remember the Las Vegas part.
It was just a flash on the screen. You just saw the news, and I've saved the image. I've got the image as a screensaver on my computer because every once in a while I like to look at Las Vegas all destroyed by Godzilla. So
you should get have a T-shirt made of it.
Nobody would know what it was. You can't see it.
You would.
Well, I would. That's true. So, all right. So anyway, that's the news about Godzilla Kong. The sequel is going to be called Supernova, and all we know is it's about something horrible that comes, and they got to team up once. They're kind of unbeatable. You get Godzilla Kong together, it's kind of unbeatable.
I have a question.
Okay.
This could be news, I guess. Is there any new Batman movies coming out?
Well, Batman 2 is floundering. It's have they even started shooting that yet? The Robert Pattinson sequel?
Let's
find out.
I'm not sure. I've heard things here and there, but I don't think it was anything concrete. And I know they pushed it back to 2027. Yeah, 2027.
Okay, so it's still in pre-production then, I guess. Oh, there it is. I won't use his language, but Robert Pattinson said back in March, I hope the Batman 2 begins production soon. His exact words were, I effing hope so. I started out as young Batman, and I'm going to be effing old Batman by the sequel. He was decent in that. He was actually.
Yeah, he was. I wasn't looking forward to it until I saw the performance. I'm going, and I got to tell you, when I saw Mikey, was it Mikey 17?
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. He totally changed my attitude towards Pattinson. And what soured me on him was that Shimmering Vampire series.
Twilight series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of those either.
But
Jeff's read all the books and watched all the movies, though.
I've seen all the movies. I haven't read all the books.
Oh, haven't?
Yeah.
No.
But he's quite the actor.
I thought we talked about that before, but I may be thinking of Andrea. She read all the books.
Now, the reason why I brought that up, ta-da!
Oh, we got a new Batmobile, which you could see if we had a camera that worked. We have a small collection of Batmobiles.
It's not just a new one. We have that car, but we don't have it in gold.
We have the Arkham Asylum. Why does Arkham Asylum have a Batmobile?
Because it was part of the, I don't know.
From the video game?
Oh, is that what it is?
Maybe.
Okay, I bet you're right.
That's the video game Arkham Asylum.
But it's
that's probably what it is.
It's gold.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you got to get a cork board or something. We got to hang those things
display
up.
case. We got it. Well, I'm not doing anything here because we're probably moving the building in a year or so. So I'm not. I got this TV to put up, but everything's just kind of on hold until we find out if we're going to actually move in.
I don't know what started that collection. I think I started it, but we
had one here. We always had one that was up there, but then you saw it and started buying all the other ones. So now we got a dozen.
We got an original from the Batman TV series from, was it 66?
Yeah.
And it grew. And every time I see a Batmobile Hot Wheels car, got to get it for the studio.
I always told my wife, because I always wanted that original Batman from the Hot Wheels version of the original Batmobile. And I told my wife that if they ever released the Batman series, the Adam West series on Blu-ray, I was going to buy the whole thing. Didn't matter what it cost. Well, it came out and it was like $250, but it came with a little car and it came with the entire series. It's all on Blu-ray. And there was some other little things in there as well. But I thought, man, I can't do $250. And then it went on sale and it was like $149. I'm thinking, okay, maybe. And then somebody gave me a $50 gift card for Amazon. Okay, I'm gonna buy it. But you know, it's still in the cellophane. I haven't even cracked it yet. You probably have that condition too. Do you have a lot of Blu-rays that you haven't opened yet, or DVDs or anything?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get through. Is just because I don't know. It makes me sad. They're still sitting there wrapped up. I'm like, I haven't even watched these yet. There's dozens of movies that I've never seen before that I have on my shelf and I'm trying to get through.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And I've realized at this point that we subscribe to HBO, and I didn't know. So we're paying for the HBO service, not just the Max service. We pay for the HBO service on our cable. Plus, I found out they're charging me $14 a week to use my DVR. I didn't know that. I should be paying more attention. $14 a week just to tape something. Well, not tape, but record something. So I'm going to dump that and go to all streaming things. And then I've got probably close to 1,000 DVDs, and many of them I haven't seen. So and plus I've been buying a lot of thrift store DVDs because they're $2.
Yeah.
You know, I got my heart broke the other day though, because I found Monk season 3, and I've been trying to collect the entire Monk series, and it was $2. I thought, yep, I'm going to buy this. But you always check the discs at the thrift store, right? Disc 4 was missing.
I don't remember what, because I got you
season 6.
It was 6.
Yeah, when I got home, I looked it up. I figured for $2, if it was the same one you got me, I'd just give it to you or something, because for $2, but not with a disc missing. That wasn't going to work for me. I was a little disappointed on that.
Did the Monk movie ever come out?
Yes, it was excellent.
I missed it because I don't remember it coming out. I remember us talking about it.
It was a Peacock movie.
Oh.
It didn't go to theaters. It wouldn't have worked at theaters, but it was a Peacock movie. It was very good. Did you ever watch Monk?
No.
Do you like detective TV shows? Good ones? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, good ones. Yeah, I'll enjoy.
Try Monk sometime. He's the defective detective, but he was really great. Tony Shalhoub was Monk.
Uh-huh.
All right, another news: Suits LA did not prove as successful as its precursor. It has been canceled. A lot of shows got canceled this week, including The Equalizer. Equalizer got canceled as well. The good news for Equalizer is that they were able to. They had a hunch they might be canceled, so they did their last episode of the season as a series finale that they could also jump off of if they needed to. But John and I were big fans of the Equalizer TV show, and Queen Latifah was great in it. It's one of those. It's kind of like the Daniel Craig thing. When you heard Daniel Craig was going to be James Bond, you're like, yeah, really? That doesn't fit. When you heard Queen Latifah was going to be the Equalizer, you thought, but when she started kicking ass, you knew you were okay. So
I was a big fan of the original Equalizer TV series. And when they came out with the movies with Denzel Washington, I've always had this thing. If you have an established character, you keep that going. And then they say Denzel Washington's going to be playing the Equalizer part. And I'm going, oh no. As much as I love Denzel Washington's acting, oh no. Boy, was I so wrong. He is great in all 3 of those movies. He played Equalizer. And I was not a big fan when I've never really been a big fan of Queen Latifah. And I got to admit, most of the acting I've seen her in, she's an actress, definitely. And I have not watched all of this last season, but I'll get around to it.
And it's the last season. It's not coming back, which is sad. But there's a lot of things that got canceled recently.
But I got to tell you, my two favorite characters in that TV series is her friend, the little short girl, who's married to the IT guy.
Oh,
she runs the bar.
Sniper.
Yeah,
she's great.
And then the guy that plays her husband or boyfriend, whatever.
Who is the IT guy?
Yeah. He, I've seen him in a lot of things.
Oh, sure.
And it's almost like he's typecast in that type of character. But man,
he's really good at it.
Yeah,
though.
he is.
Yeah. I'm going to miss The Equalizer. I've been enjoying it for a long time, but things get canceled, and I'm just glad that they have a chance to sew things up, because one of the things I hate is when you follow a series for 8 years and then it gets canceled and it doesn't have an ending. Like, no, that would have been nice. Sometimes you wish it didn't, though, like Ray Donovan. They finished up Ray Donovan and they thought they were going to get another season and they didn't. So they made the Ray Donovan movie. It was hard to get through. It was
that's like Gilligan's Island.
It really isn't, but
well, no, they ended the series. They're still on the island. And then they came back with I think 2, maybe 3 movies. And the last one, they finally get off the island. They go back to the island. I
actually bought a DVD of one of those movies up in Fraser Park. I was up there with Josh at the thrift store, and they had I can't remember which one it is, but it's, Gilligan's Island movie. And I thought this will be fun no matter what, so I haven't watched it yet because, I buy them. I don't watch them.
Is this the one? Is this the one with, I can't remember, was it the Harlem Globetrotters?
I don't think so. I mean, there's no Globetrotters featured on the box. So
they're one of the movies, basketball team.
That is the most ridiculous show of all time, but it's something you can watch whenever it's on. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, Suits LA, they thought
Marianne or Ginger.
Everybody knows Marianne.
Marianne.
You have no comment?
Nope.
Jeff was looking like, am I supposed to answer that too? Anyway, Suits, the original Suits series went on for what? 17 seasons? 7 seasons? No, it's longer now. Was it like 9 seasons or something?
I don't remember, but
long time.
The original.
And Suits LA wanted to be that again, but it just couldn't pull it off. It just didn't have the same chemistry that made the first one so popular. So Suits LA going bye-bye after just 1 season. And it's too bad, because it was nice to see some of the original stars make guest appearances on the new series, but it wasn't enough to hold people's interest.
Well, they probably should have made some of the originals as regular characters.
They probably should have. And that's what the creator of White Collar has done. He's got that new series, White Collar Resurrection, I think it's called. And it's the original characters, but they're back doing their thing. So I think that works better. I mean, you can breathe life into a series by replacing the cast, but you got to be careful, because those are the characters that people fall in love with. So if you screw that up, you can get Suits LA.
With, what is it? Leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Leverage Redemption. The continuation of Leverage. They brought back most of the original characters, and then they added 2.
Yeah.
And it works.
It does, because they have most of the original characters. And those, again, are the characters that you love. I love the IT girl in that show.
Yeah.
She's very, very good. All right, moving on. We have some rock and roll news here. A dump truck has crashed into the Whiskey A Go-Go on the Sunset Strip.
Oh, my goodness. I heard about that.
Now, that is a legendary place. I saw Motorhead play there once. Motley Crue and Van Halen, I think, got their start there, if I remember correctly.
The Doors, weren't they a house band for a while?
I guess so. I was hoping there was a picture of the damage that it did, but they said the dump truck came careening out of control down Clark Street into the back of the Whiskey A Go-Go, taking out 6 different cars. No serious injuries. So that's the good news. But I wonder what's going to do to that place. Because rock and roll places seem to be hanging on by the edge of their nails. People just don't go to see live rock and roll like they used to. How many big tours have been shrunk down to smaller tours because of ticket sales, I mean, AC/DC didn't have that problem. They just had 90,000 people at the Rose Bowl, which is why I didn't go, because I don't want to sit around with 90,000 people and try to get out of that parking lot.
Speaking of AC/DC, did you get that that video I sent you of Bon Scott
Yes.
as a singing "Fill Me Up, Buttercup"?
Very interesting compared to
Yeah,
the
it was.
AC/DC style of singing. Anyway, I hope that the whiskey gets put back together and is saved, because that place, and it doesn't, I mean, it crashed in the back. So did it go through the parking lot more than anything else? And because if it destroyed 6 cars in the parking lot, it's
And a dump truck ain't no slouch.
yeah, exactly.
It ain't no Toyota Tacoma.
Hey, you watch your mouth about Toyota.
No, because Toyota, well, not the new Toyota Tacomas, but like yours. What year's yours?
2007. Watch your step.
No, it's a smaller vehicle than what the new Tacomas are. And the dump truck is the size of a bus, well, half a bus, with a whole lot more power. I mean, we've seen what dump trucks have done to cars when they hit them.
You're just going to
In
keep
the
going,
movies,
aren't you?
yeah. Oh, we've both been to the Key Club, and that's had several different
Is
names.
it still there?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I remember that one time you and I went down there. We got tickets through Mark and Brian,
Yeah.
and we had to leave early because we had to get to work.
That was Def Leppard, right?
I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, we were supposed to, our boss was in Europe and we were supposed to be running the office, but he won tickets for Def Leppard early in the morning in LA. And it's like, nobody will know we're not there.
It was on KLOS, the old Mark and Brian show.
Oh, okay.
And that was actually a pretty good show.
It was a very good show. I'd have stayed all the way through if I wasn't afraid of losing my job. So let's see what else we got here. We have a new Pope, of course, Pope Leo the 14th. And they asked his brother whether or not he'd seen Conclave. And his brother said, yes, he had seen Conclave before he was elected the new Pope. So that's kind of interesting. Have you seen Conclave?
I did, yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was masterfully done.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I mean, you take the writing and the editing, it's so freaking tight. And then you put those actors on top of it.
Yeah.
Wow. It was knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, and viewing after the Pope died shot up 268%.
I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people were joking the marketing for this movie is crazy.
Yeah, they went a little extreme there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conclave is an excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it, because
I will.
The complexity and the tradition of that whole thing is nothing short of stunning.
Mhm.
It's I don't even know how to begin to describe it. It's just so nailed down perfect. And then that movie captures it. So
Yeah.
And we talked about this last time. What was the one that Ian McGregor? I think he becomes the Pope or wants to become the Pope, and he goes a little mad.
That's the Da Vinci Code.
Was that the Da Vinci Code or?
Second one,
Angels and Demons?
Yeah, maybe that was it. Was now you okay, I can't say his name.
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There you go.
He is from the British Isles. I don't know if he's Irish or English or Scottish, but in that movie, I don't remember. Was he playing an American or was he playing an Englishman? I can't remember.
I haven't seen that movie. I've only seen Da Vinci Code, and then there was 3 of them, right? I didn't see the second one, but I saw the third one.
Actually, I thought there was only 2 of them, both with Tom Hanks.
Well, then maybe I did see him.
Third one came out in like 2018 or 19 or something.
Langston, right? Isn't the character he plays Langston? Robert Langdon. I was close. Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and Inferno. So I've seen Da Vinci Code and Inferno. And I got to tell you, I'm a huge fan of Dan Brown. Sometimes he gets a little silly in his books, but it works out in the end. But that was the problem with the Da Vinci Code. It followed the book so closely that I was bored stiff all the way through.
Oh, okay.
And I like the story, and I know people who hadn't read the book really like the movie, but it was just deadly boring to me.
I haven't read any of the books. I have seen 2 of the movies, the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. I didn't know there was one called Inferno. I'll have to check that one out.
I wonder if
But
they're going to continue that I don't think the last one did real well.
But, speaking of books, if you've got Amazon.com, go to Amazon.com and put in the search engine, put in R. Scott Bolton, author, and you'll see a plethora of Scotty's books. And his most latest one that's available, that too, is Bowling Bag in the Back Seat. How many books has Scotty written now or published?
I've published 8, written 13.
So I'm saying it in the third person.
It's really weird.
Yeah. I know. But, and they're all available. That's been published. You can get them on Amazon. You can either get them on a Kindle. You can get them on paperback. Some of them are even hardback, which is what I prefer myself. And as I always say, my favorite one of R. Scott Bolton's books is Dead Dick.
I think you just like saying dead dick.
Yeah, well, because mine is, but that's another story.
I really wish I hadn't said anything.
But and I'm looking forward to getting, and I let Scotty down on Bowling Bag in the Back Seat. I'm one of Scott's.
You were one. Yes.
I was one of Scotty's proofreaders.
Control readers. Yes.
Yes. And I am looking forward to getting the next one.
Yeah, well, we'll see, because you never get around to it anyway. So
wait, what? That's the only time that I didn't.
And
finish.
by the way, listeners, good news for you, bad news for John. I've created a commercial that we're going to be playing instead of you doing that every week. So
oh no,
I know it takes away part of your, but
it's not going to stop me.
It has to stop you because it's annoying the living crap out of me. Yeah. And I know you're doing me a favor, but
why do you think I do it?
I know why. I know why.
Well, I always look forward to how he's going to incorporate it into whatever story you guys are talking
It's always, that part is fun. Yeah. And sometimes it has nothing to do. Speaking of paper, books are printed on paper. And
if you got Amazon Prime, it's going to be free delivery.
Nicolas Cage, who is one of the most intriguing actors in the business, has a movie called The Carpenter's Son. And apparently Magnolia Films is going to be distributing it or producing it. I'm not even sure what this means to. But here's the storyline. It's very, very interesting. He plays a skeptical journalist whose faith is challenged by a series of miraculous events, leading her, must be changed in the book, maybe he's not the star, to spend a day with Jesus. Now, the thing that you read that, and it sounds like maybe one of those faith-based things, right? But you notice it's a horror film. The horror film, directed by Lofty Nathan, which is a great name, by the way, is inspired by there's too many big words in this, but it's inspired by the Infancy Gospel of Thomas. Johnny, what is that? Infancy Gospel of Thomas.
Honestly, I have no idea.
It must be a book or something. Anyway, so what do you think, Jeff? How is this a horror movie?
A horror movie with Jesus?
Yeah. Maybe this journalist, her faith is challenged, and she spends a day with Jesus, and he takes her around and does some serial killing.
Is it set in like present day, or is it set back in the day?
That's a good question. Let's see if this is a book.
Like journalists, did they have journalists 2,000 years ago?
Wait a minute. Is it? Oh, that's the name of the book. Speaking of books.
No.
There you go. About the childhood of Jesus. What if it's like the backwards omen or something?
Wait. Go back up. Because it says that on that second paragraph, or no, in the first paragraph, the end of it, it says, saying gospel discovered near Nag Hammadi, Egypt, 1945.
That guy was kind of like you, nagging all the time. Anyway, go ahead.
And then up there it says from the 11th century. Who knows where it's supposed to take place?
I don't know. My curiosity here is based on that story and based on the fact they're calling it a horror film. What are they doing?
Yeah, I wonder what, because it says here, childhood of Jesus.
Yes.
So, what kind of scary stuff was he doing as a kid? It's been a while since I've been to church or anything, but I don't remember anything.
And I'm not that old to remember, so.
The church has rejected the book, calling it heretical. How do you say that word? No, heretical, because it's an adjective, right? Fiction. Well, I think that
Heresy.
heretical.
Okay, that too.
So I don't know. I don't know when it was actually written. Does it have? No, it's the language is originally Greek, which is also interesting. I didn't know that the Greeks of that age did horror films, but I don't know.
They did film.
I'm always intrigued about Nicolas Cage because this is what I love about him. Nicolas Cage won an Oscar, made some of the greatest movies ever, and then got in some trouble and kind of fizzled. But now it gives him the opportunity to make 5 or 6 of these little movies a year. And of those 5 or 6, usually there's 1 or 2 that are like jaw-dropping amazing. This one intrigues me. I'm very curious to see where this goes, but if he's in it, I'll go see it anyway. So.
I always wanted to see The Wicker Man, and I just never.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, let me stop you now. Please don't go see The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. Did you see that?
Nope.
Oh, don't watch it. I'm saving you guys from trouble. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Watch the original with Michael Caine. Don't watch the Nicolas Cage version.
Oh,
please. I'm begging you.
Anything with Michael Caine in it.
Including Jaws the Revenge?
Okay, except for Jaws.
Did you like his comment about that though? He said they asked him, why would you do Jaws 3D, aren't you, or Jaws the Revenge? Why aren't you embarrassed? And he goes, I'm not embarrassed by the house it bought me.
Did you ever hear his story about how he met his wife, or the lady who became his wife?
No.
Yes.
It was great. He's in England, and he sees a commercial on TV, and he fell in love with this actress, this model in the commercial. And he contacts his publicist or his agent or whatever, says, I need to meet this woman. And he was ready to fly to South America.
Wow.
And he says, you don't have to do that. She's just down the road. I mean, the way he tells it, it's really a cool little story.
There's nobody like Michael Caine. He's truly one of a kind.
And one of my favorite movies from him was Shaka Zulu, which we did the
transcription for.
Yeah.
We worked for a company that sold uncopyrighted and incorrectly copyrighted movies. And we got an order from somebody. They wanted English language scripts so they could dub them and do subtitles. Well, our boss was too cheap to do anything but tell us to do it. So we sat in the office for 8 hours a day typing out, which was kind of cool because we get to see movies you'd never see before. And now that you can actually download from internet, what's that internet website?
Internet Movie Database.
No. There's an internet
YouTube.
No. It's archive, Internet Archive.
Oh.
Many of those movies are at, which is archive.org, by the way. Many of those uncopyrighted movies, you can just download them or watch them on screen there. That's something you could do too.
Cool.
He was in the original Get Carter.
Yes, he was.
And one of my favorite Michael Caine movies was The Italian Job. And they came out with a remake of it.
Jason was in it, made it all worthwhile.
Yep. But Michael Caine is actually in it, but not as one of the crew. It's where they go, I'm going to say spoiler alert. There's a scene where our good guys who robbed a bunch of gold, they're going to a guy who was in their crew who thought he killed everybody because he wanted it all for himself. Well, they're going to go rob him to get the loot back. Well, as they show up, there's a scene where you see the guy's big screen TV through the window, and it's showing a Michael Caine movie, which could have been Get Carter. I'm not sure. But I thought I kept saying, every time I see that, I go, oh, they should have had the original Italian Job scene on that.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. But
Get Carter is a gritty movie. I always heard how gritty and violent it was. And then I watched it and I went, yeah, they're right. But it's really good. It's a child of its era. It's one of those movies you expect to be from the 60s like it was. It was, but Michael Caine's great in it. So
yep.
The other Nicolas Cage movie that I'm dying to see, I don't think it's in local theaters yet, is The Surfer. And here's the, according to RottenTomatoes.com, here's the storyline. In the psychological thriller directed by Lorcan Finnegan, A man returns to the idyllic beach of his childhood to surf with his son, but his desire to hit the waves is thwarted by a group of locals whose mantra is, don't live here, don't surf here. Humiliated and angry, the man is drawn into a conflict that keeps rising in concert. I don't think so. Rising in concert with the punishing heat of the summer and pushes him to his breaking point. Now, that sounds like one of those Nicolas Cage movies that is designed around his performance, does it not? Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of, my wife said, nope, not going to that. And then if you look at the reviews, 86% of the critics liked it, but only 46% of the audience. So that tells me he probably dies in the end. I don't know. But anyway, that's the story with the surfer, which is out in theaters. But just
I got to admit, most of the Nicolas Cage movies I've seen, I have really, really enjoyed. My two favorites, actually, maybe my three favorites. The Rock with Sean Connery.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah. This one I really liked, Face Off with John Travolta. I think that both actors, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, captured each other in their performance because they become each other.
I need to see that again because I've heard the same thing. But when I saw the movie, when it first came out, I didn't get that at all. In fact, that's what I was disappointed in. I thought they could have done a lot more to portray each other. But since then, I've talked to a lot of people who say that I'm just wrong. So it's time to revisit it.
Well, you've been doing that with several movies lately.
Don't start commenting on my mental health.
You do mine. Oh, wait, well, that's a given.
What there is of it, yes. No, it's true. It's one movie, not a lot of movies. John makes it sound like it's an ongoing issue. But yeah, you're right about The Accountant. I watched The Accountant again, and it had nothing to do with what I remembered. I mean, that movie was just completely and utterly different. And I'll tell you guys what I thought. Did I tell you already?
Probably, but do it again.
At the end of the movie, you find out who the person is that's been helping him with his work. In my mind, I had created that it was his mother. And you know how I hate stories where their families are all, they start bringing that's my brother's and sister's aunt or something. And I just hate those. They seem cheap ways to go to me. And that's how I remember The Accountant. And then I watched it again. And it's like, oh no, this is a whole different ball game here. I don't know how that memory got changed.
And
it might be the booze.
I've got to watch the original again because I don't remember him going to prison and escaping.
Well,
apparently that happened in the first one because they do flashbacks.
I don't know that it did. Did it just it happened between, right?
I haven't seen either of them.
So. Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Spoiler alert, Jeff.
Yeah,
well, here's the good news. It's not his mom. So,
okay.
And by the way, happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there tomorrow. Okay. So Peacemaker season 2 is starting up again on Amazon. I love John Cena. The character he plays. Have you seen Peacemaker at all?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's over the top crazy, right? Yeah. But I love his character because he's this superhero who just wants people to like him. He doesn't know how to do that, and it's over the top with all the comic book violence and all the dirty language and everything else. But it's just a lot of fun, and I think I can't imagine anybody else but John Cena playing that role because he gets that combo of those two things.
He's a pretty good actor. I like him.
He is, yes. I can't wait, but we have to wait because I don't think it starts till August. So one last thing, and then we'll talk about some reviews, specifically the Mission Impossible movies. Mikey Madison and Kirsten Dunst are going to star in a mermaid thriller called Reptilia. You heard right, a mermaid thriller. So is it like Daryl Hannah, but with bigger teeth? I don't know. Oops, almost spilled my drink. Let's see if there's any other news about this. What kind of mermaid thriller could it be? I mean,
grows up to be Godzilla?
Maybe. I don't know what to think about it.
I don't know. Like it could be. Are they the main characters? Are the mermaids the main characters, or are we following like?
That's a good question.
Interacting with them, like it could go a number of different ways.
I mean, that's a great team. Those are both fine actors, so yeah. I'm okay with that. Mikey just coming off the Oscar, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, she deserved that.
Yeah, she did. 100%. She very much so. She held that movie together.
Yeah.
What was the name of that movie? It was That's right. Yeah, she held that movie together. But it was sad to see Demi lose at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't take. It's one of those times you're like, well, I get it, And she was in much more of the movie than Demi was in hers. So, Did you see that movie, The Substance?
I did. Yeah.
Are you okay after seeing it? Because it was kind of weird.
Yeah, I was fine with it. Yeah, I see why it didn't win a lot, because it was kind of goofy in a sense.
Yes.
I was actually kind of surprised that it was up for Best Picture. I thought, oh, I've seen lots of horror movies kind of like this, and I don't know. I was just wondering.
I think it's the
picking and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's the storyline with the younger version replacing the older version, and how women are having to deal with that much more so than men do, especially in Hollywood. But I think that angle, because that's when I first started watching, I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting. There'll be a take on this, and then it just does. It just turns into a full blown horror film.
Yeah.
So, it would have been nice to see Demi win after all that, but you can't take anything away from Mikey. She was.
And a lot of people were saying that the Oscars were The Substance in real time, because she won, the younger one, over Demi Moore. So
that's true. I didn't even think about that. But she had more screen time. And again, she was the glue that held that movie together without question. All right. So let's talk about some things. John's got his finger up. He's always got his finger up.
Yeah. Kirsten Dunst. 2 movies that she just recently did an interview about when she did the film Jumanji with
Dwayne Johnson.
No.
Rock Hudson.
No.
Bruce Willis.
Yes. No.
Robin Williams.
Yes. How she was scared, basically. And it was what Robin Williams did to calm her down and all that. And it was quite touching. And another movie that I remember her in, and she was just tiny, a little kid, Interview with the Vampire. She was great in that.
What a great character, too.
Yeah. I mean, she's this little girl who becomes forever as a little girl, but she's like hundreds of years old.
Yeah, she's stuck that way.
And she was great in everything that I've seen her in. I'm not sure. Wasn't she in Dexter?
No, she was in something else like Dexter. I don't remember what it was.
And the Spider-Man movies that she was in.
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah.
There's no question. She's great. And she's great in Fargo, the Fargo episode. Did you ever watch Fargo? The series?
I saw the first season. I haven't seen any.
Oh, you're a lucky man. You get to watch all those. Every season is so good.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Okay.
Every season is so good. It's hard to follow that first one with Billy Bob, because his performance in that first season is flooring.
Right.
But Ewan McGregor plays 2 roles in one season of Fargo, and he plays brothers. And it's one of those times that the actor makes you know which brother you're looking at every time. He's so good that he separates them out.
Are they all different, like, stories in each season?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Different locales, different seasons, different eras. There's a Chris Rock season that is like takes place in the 40s.
Do they connect at all?
No, they just happen to be
in that
near Fargo, apparently.
Is there, with maybe the exceptions of the first season with Billy Bob, are any of them related to the movie?
Only in locale. And the
snow,
general area, and sometimes the snow, sometimes not the snow.
Because I don't even think I finished the first season for whatever reason, but
this is what I love about Fargo, and I'm sorry because this is kind of a spoiler alert, but there's and I don't remember what season it was either, but there's a big gunfight at this lousy hotel, like a Motel 5, not even a Motel 6, and the cops are there and the bad guys are there and they're shooting every way, and suddenly you hear this humming noise, and it gets louder and louder, and this flying saucer hovers down into the scene. And it just sits there as if the aliens are watching the gunfight go on. And then one of the cops happens to notice it, but he's too busy shooting things. And then it flies away. That's all that happens. But it's so cool that, here's a flying saucer in the middle of this gunfight. It's like,
did David Lynch direct that?
It was a little Lynchian. It really was. Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing. If you see the whole episode, it makes sense.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it's still, you understand why it's there. It's just, because as far as I recall, that's the last you see of it. It just comes down, and then maybe they talk about it. Did you see that? No, I didn't see it.
I don't know why it made me think of this, but one of your stories, one of R. Scott Bolton's books, which is available on Amazon.com, by the way, is about a plane crash.
That's not available yet. That's Losers Weepers.
Okay, that's Losers Weepers?
Yes.
I enjoyed that one too. That one I did finish.
That one's going to get published next year.
Okay.
Putting the finishing touches on it. But the audience has spoken. They want more Brace Heller, so I got to write more detective stories. But that's where I get my $5 commissions from every quarter. All right, so Mission Impossible is out May 23rd. I don't know about you guys. Oh my God, he's got his hand up again.
Tomorrow, you mentioned this, is Mother's Day. So go to Amazon.com, order that book.
No.
Yeah, and you're going to get these.
See, this is
sometime next week.
This is why I made a commercial. We can avoid that in the future. So anyway, Mission Impossible, is it 8, right? Part 8?
Oh God.
Yes.
Supposedly the last one.
Well, the last one with Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt, because the rumor is he's out hunting to find somebody that he can send out onto missions. Now, I don't know how true that is, but the rumor is that he's trying to find some younger actor to take his place as that character, and not Ethan Hunt, but as the character who does the impossible
Robert
missions.
Pattinson.
You know what? I'm thinking Glenn Powell, because they're buddies.
Oh yeah.
Glenn Powell would probably do it. But anyway, so Jeff and I apparently have been rewatching the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
Which one are you on now?
I've been watching them with my wife because my wife's never seen them.
Oh.
I wanted to rewatch them, and we are about to start 4. We're gonna do it last night, but she ended up having to work late, so we didn't finish 4. But we've watched the first 3.
Yeah.
We got a few to go.
Which one did you like best so far?
Out of all of them?
Just the ones the first
I've rewatched.
Oh, out of all of them. We'll talk about all of them. Yeah.
My favorite is Fallout.
That was a good
the
one.
Stunts were awesome. The story was awesome. Although I will say my favorite opening to a film is in Mission Impossible 4.
Yeah.
They break out of the prison.
Yes.
And they're running through the sewers, and Tom Cruise goes, "Light it." And then the lady does the match, lights the fuse,
Yes.
and then it goes into
burns through the credits.
Title. Favorite opening to a movie.
That's
ever.
a terrific. Yeah. I'm with you 100% on that.
Of all the Mission Impossible movies I've seen, the first one I was disappointed in. It was a great movie, but I was disappointed in the fact of how they treated Mr. Phelps.
Now you'll have to explain that, because that comes from a love of the television series, which Jeff, you haven't seen any of, right?
I haven't.
Okay.
So it does connect to the TV series, because that was going to be my question to you: is the connection? Are the movies are retelling of those seasons, or what?
The first movie.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but I don't know how to explain this. Help me out here. I don't want to give anything away because I want him to see the TV series.
Well, he still can. The bottom line is that a very important person in the television series becomes the villain in the first film.
Oh, okay.
And you've seen it, so you know who it is. But it's like taking Captain Kirk and making him a villain. And I don't mean in a different alternate universe, in the same universe. And that was hard for me to swallow too. It's like, you don't take the hero of the series and make him the bad guy. I mean, was it a surprise? Sure. But did it piss you off because they kind of sullied his history? Yeah. And
the thing is, he was not the Mr. Phelps character was not the original leader of the IMF.
You can't even spell IMF.
I know there's an F in it.
Anyway, so the series is basically like the movies, but of course at a lot lower technical level. But it's a group of people, and it was Barbara Bain and Martin Landau,
who were married,
Peter Graves, and I know Leonard Nimoy came in a later season.
Yeah, he replaced Martin Landau's character. I started to say Garrett Morris. The guy that played Barney, I can't remember what his real name is. And the strong guy, the
Greg Morris.
Greg Morris and Peter Lupus. Oh, there's Stephen Hill was the original leader of the IMF.
Oh,
And
Linda Day George was in that. I did not know that. I forgot that.
do you still have your autograph?
Oh, of course I do. Yeah, John worked with Martin Landau and got me an autograph because I was a huge Martin Landau fan, especially after Ed Wood. I know that everybody wanted Samuel L. Jackson to win the award for Pulp Fiction, which he wholeheartedly deserved. But how do you not give it to Martin Landau for Ed Wood?
Martin Landau's performance in Tucker, A Man in His Machine, or A Man in His...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, A Man in His Dream or something like that. That performance was just... when I got Scotty the autograph, the movie I was working on was called
The Color of Night.
Color of Night. No, The Color of Evening.
That's what I said.
And I was doing craft services, and Martin Landau came over to my table, and I was serving him. And I said, Mr. Landau, I have a question. He goes, no, you can call me Marty. Oh, God, I felt so good. I said, how did you get off the moon? And he looked at me, kind of looked around and goes, tell you the truth, we're still there. And that was a TV series he did called Space 1999, where they had a base.
One of the greatest themes of all time. I love the theme from Space 1999.
And he was just such a really nice guy. He held up production for about 45 minutes talking to me about not only Space 1999, but the original Mission Impossible TV series and how Lucille Ball pretty much strong-armed CBS.
She was so powerful back then.
Yeah. Because at that time, CBS didn't think that the American public was ready for an hour drama like that. And because it was a Desilu production, Lucille Ball goes to the heads of CBS and says, no Mission Impossible, no Lucy Show. Because at that time, I think the Lucy Show was the most popular TV.
Well, she was hugely popular.
Yeah.
She was in charge of television back then.
Yeah.
Basically. And
And
she did the exact same thing with Star Trek. The exact same thing. You're going to cancel Star Trek? I don't think so. And then they made Spock's brain, and she said, I probably should have canceled Star Trek.
but the power that woman had.
Okay, Johnny, we got to move on.
Okay.
Because you've told the story like 9 million times.
Yeah, but
I remember you telling it to him on set. So we need to move on.
wait, what? Just
Do you not remember that?
I don't.
Oh,
thank you.
well, that was the day we were so crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That I'm like,
Yeah.
I had a million things.
Yeah.
Remember, I have a cane. Who you're going to agree with?
Anybody else, because he can outrun you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, there was 171 total episodes of Mission Impossible, the original television series, and it's just like the movies. But yeah, like I said, of course, the technology is different and everything else. The technology is different in the movies from the first episode to the last one.
Oh yeah, that first movie was very dated. Like
Yes.
it's just where he's sending the emails and he's just sending it to. I'm like, is this how it works back then? I don't.
And they had those big tube TVs with the green lettering still. It's like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's changed dramatically in all the years that those have been going on. But it's fun. It's a good, and it's also a little silly sometimes because you can't do 171 impossible missions and not get a little silly occasionally.
You remember the suitcase thing that they did the face masks from the TV series?
I don't. Was that?
Yeah.
They printed them up in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another thing. Those masks now are basically real because they sell those masks that fit over your head and stick to your lips, and it's terrifying. I think they can fool a face recognition program, and that's terrifying. I mean, they don't print them. Well, they probably do print them in the field like they do in the movie, but
Hey, it works in the movies.
yeah,
So it must be real.
it must be real.
Yeah, when we were watching the third one, because my wife, she's always like, whenever they pull the mask off, she's like, "What? That wasn't him?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they do this gimmick through all the movies. Like you'd think that's kind of like something that's a little dated that they'd get rid of. No, they're doing it in the newer ones too. But I remember in the third one when they're making the Philip Seymour Hoffman mask."
Yes.
And it pans behind Luther and it's Tom Cruise with the mask. And then it's Philip Seymour Hoffman when it goes to the other side and he's like pushing these like computer animated things into him. And then my wife goes, "Was that him the whole time?" I'm like, no. Like watch it again. Like, so it's been fun watching them.
The filmmakers like to do those scenes without effects. So they, like you said, they swerve the camera around
Yeah.
They swivel the camera around so that you see the original actor and then the person with the mask on. And that's half the fun is you sit there and go, okay, how'd they do this one? There's one scene in a mirror where they swing around Tom Cruise and the guys in the mirror. And it's just the real actor, but they put the mask on. Actually, Cruise is putting it on, I think, somebody else, probably Simon Pegg. But I'm excited because Fallout's the next one I got to see. That's where I'm at in rewatching them. So I've got Fallout and then Dead Reckoning. And then Final Reckoning, I want to be there opening night because I just can't.
I'm going to have to start watching. I got to go back and start the movie.
You're running out of time because the 23rd is short. It's 2 weeks away.
I could do that.
Well, you could.
Oh.
It's taken me a while because.
I mean, what else am I going to do?
I don't know.
Okay, that's another story.
Yeah, where I was my wife was going to bed last night and she came back in. She goes, "What are you watching?" And she looked at the screen and goes, "Oh, of course," and went away. Because I got to get caught up on them, Yeah. And the last one was really, really good. Josh and I went to see that, and I don't think his heart was in it too much. But afterwards, he's like, "Oh my God, that was worth every second that we spent in there."
You're talking about part one?
Yeah. Well, it's not part one anymore. They've renamed it, so now it's final. It was Dead Reckoning, and now the new one's Final Reckoning. It's kind of like Thunderbolts and the new Avengers. By the way, we saw Thunderbolts and you were right. It was great.
It was fun.
Yeah, it really was.
Which we didn't talk about.
We just did.
Oh, okay.
And we're out of time anyway, so we got to go.
And yeah, but wait a minute. Okay.
Got no idea. So you guys are on number 5 is where you're going to go.
We're going to start number 4.
Start number 4.
Yeah, we were going to do it yesterday because we started on Wednesday. We watched 1 and 2 on Wednesday, 3 on Thursday, and we were going to do 4 yesterday, but we couldn't do it. Just didn't add up we didn't have time to.
Yeah, they're long movies. They're all over 2 hours, I think. Yeah. So
I like in the trailers that you see for Final Reckoning. They even did that with the first part where they were showing some scenes from the previous movies. It was all incorporated into what we're seeing.
Yeah, I imagine they'll do that in the film too, because they're talking about Ethan's entire career. So I imagine there'll be some kind of use of those scenes as flashbacks, or it just intercut briefly, like he blew up the Kremlin, and then you see that scene, just real quick.
Yeah, man, I like the way he says, "Yeah, he blew up the Kremlin." Well, in fairness, they were trying to blow him up,
trying to kill him. Yeah, really good stuff there. And Christian, here's the thing: they keep going to all these. I'm a huge James Bond fan. We talked about that earlier. And they keep going to these weird directors, Amazon, talking like Greta Gerwig. Terrific filmmaker, not the filmmaker who should be doing James Bond. They should be talking to Christopher Quarry. They should be talking to the guy who's doing the Mission Impossible movies, because that was as close to James Bond as we get. That's who they need to be talking to. But I just don't have any faith in them at all. I got a bad feeling for James Bond.
I've been saying this for decades. I want them to do a movie, another movie about Matt Helm.
He's been saying that for decades, and usually weekly for decades.
Well, years ago, I thought
that was when I remember you telling me on the last time I was.
Well, years ago, I thought George Clooney would have made a perfect.
And he was going to, but he couldn't do it because his back went out. So,
which is a shame. So, if they did it today, who do you think should be Matt Helm?
Oh, Peter Dinklage, without question. Who's probably going to be Bond. Yeah. Anyway.
No, it looks like Henry Cavill is back in the running again. You saw that thing?
Dude, it's wide open now. But you can't go by any of that. I remember when the original filmmakers were still in charge, and the casting director said she loved those stories because she goes, "We haven't even sat down and talked about this yet. How do they know who there's making stuff up?" Almost said the.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Family show. We don't cuss on this show. We save that for the other shows.
It's going to be very difficult for me.
No, it'll be fine. We'll be good. So anyway, that's it for today's show. We will be back next week. We do have a boxing that we'll do as soon as we can figure out these stupid cameras. An unboxing, right?
Yes.
Never done an unboxing before. And I'm dying because feel this package. Now, obviously, the Blu-ray is in here. This is the 40th edition of Reanimator. But what else is in there?
It's not.
I haven't even opened it yet.
It's not ticking, is it?
No, I think I know what it is, but I'm not sure. Do you feel something else in there than the?
It's a little bumpy. Could be like a folded up receipt or something.
I'm hope. Don't you open that up?
No.
But, I'm thinking it might be a syringe.
Oh,
a promo syringe for Reanimator.
Ooh. It could be because I do feel bubble wrap, and it might be in bubble wrap.
Well, there's something else. It could be. It could just be wrapped up in that. But I'm hoping there's a little toy or something in there to go with it.
Down here at the bottom.
Reanimator fan?
I saw it once a long time. That's the one with the talking head at the end or something.
Well, the guy's carrying around his head. Yeah.
Oh, not the group.
It's been it's been a long time. It's been, I don't know, 7 or 8 years since I've seen it.
I saw that movie in theater, so it was 40 years ago because I'm freaking old. I have to tell you, as I was watching that movie, you get that rare joy when you're watching a movie. Like Sinners, I got that joy about movies. Had the same joy when I was watching Reanimator because no feature film at that point had done what they were doing in that movie. I was just floored by what the hell am I watching? It was so over the top and so wild. And the filmmaker, Stuart Gordon, was just ballsy. That guy made some of the best horror movies ever made. Did you ever see, what's it called? Hit?
No.
Where it's based on a true story about a woman who ran over a guy in her car and he sticks in the windshield. Oh, maybe it's called Stuck. Anyway, look it up. You'll find it. It's on Google. She drives home and puts the car in the garage and leaves him there. Well, the movie, I think in real life, the guy just died in the windshield, which is horrible enough. But in the movie, he's still alive and trying to get out of the window, and she won't help him out of the window. It's mind blowing.
I think
it's a great film.
I think they've used that same scenario in some TV series, which could have been FBI or something like that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was based on a true story. And man, can you imagine that? Oh, I'm sorry, run that guy over. Oh, he'll be dead in a few days. I'll just pull him out then. Jesus, that's horrible. So anyway, we'll talk about Reanimator next week, and Jeff will be back.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, Jeff will be back next week.
And hopefully we'll do, is it as bad as they say it is?
Oh, we definitely will. Because we can always find one of those movies, especially like I said, I'm buying those $2 DVDs like they're going out of style because they are going out of style. I know it's true. I keep worrying about, I went to the thrift store in Ventura and they have a very minimal selection at the thrift stores now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're going to do.
You know, when Scotty realized he had made it big as an author.
Oh, I've heard this story. You found your book at Goodwill.
That's true.
And speaking of books, no, I'm not going there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're not. All right, folks. We'll see you next. I'm waving, but you can only hear us this week.
Well, I'm waving too. If you haven't seen it, don't. Body of Evidence.
Oh, okay.
Because that goes into, is it as bad as they say it is? No, it's worse.
I disagreed. I thought it was much
better than you remember it.
It was bad, but better than I remember.
It was funny.
So don't forget, go to GoFundMe.com and look for Help Us Finish Our Adventure Comedy Film First Run or Jeff Genet or First Run. And you can hunt it down just using keywords. And if you've got some extra coin in your pocket, donate it and it help Jeff finish the movie because we got 10 minutes finished, right?
10 minutes, yeah.
So we're only about 90 minutes left, 80 minutes.
I'm not good at math, but yeah, let's go with that.
That'll work. All right,
you
folks.
may not be good at math, but damn, you're a fantastic director.
Oh,
I cursed. I'm sorry.
Wait
you
till
can say that.
Oh, okay.
Wait till you see the movie.
Yeah,
we can talk about.
You might be cursing for a different reason.
I had such a great time doing that. I did.
I'm glad. Yeah, that's the point. As long as everybody had fun.
I think the filmmakers, the film watchers will have fun too, based on what I've seen and what I've read.
Your cast and crew were great.
Yep. And I fought very hard to keep all those people where they were because there was a time where possibly they couldn't have happened that way. But
well, it seemed that it all worked out. And you worked hard on it too, getting all those sets lined up and everything as well. All right, got to go, folks. We'll see you later. Thanks again for listening to the Backseat Mogul Show. Again, this is an audio-only version because of camera issues, but we'll fix that next week, we hope, because otherwise I'm going to just throw this whole place away.
Go to your local theaters and watch your movies, whether it's a mom-and-pop theater or a chain. Go to the movies.
Because they're going away and there's not much time left.
I think that people are going back to the movies, though. They're trickling back, but because of movies like Sinners and what have you, don't know if it's enough to stop the blood flow, but we'll see. All right, folks, see you next week.
Goodbye.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.